Thanks for joining. Invite get more people on board. Let's get more people on board as we look at some live scenarios tonight. God's property, my God, get time. Thanks for joining, sir. We all belong to God anyway. Whether we know, we understand it or not, whether we agree or not. Thanks for joining, Juju. Let's just give people a couple of more minutes to join. The next 1 or 2 minutes and then we start. Thanks for joining. I am Billy. Good evening, Sas Ahmad. let's invite more friends, let's get more people on. Thanks for joining. How was your day been? I am Bailey. How was your day been today? Ademola, how was your day been as well? God's property. Hope we've had a good day. My beautiful sister Bookie, thanks for joining. Lily, thanks for joining. Sister Bookie, hope you'll be able to join us, joining tonight's discussion. Yeah, okay. Thanks for joining. You're on to a live talk show on relationship, and I am your host tonight, which my name remains unchanged. Ekene Modupe Ademeji. And tonight we want to explore some scenarios and then see what we can learn from other people's stories. Let's see what we can learn from other people's experiences, what they've gone through in marriage, in relationship, and what can we learn from them. There is an adage in Yoruba that says, "Eshiwaju ni tẹ̀yìn wò sáré," meaning that the horse looks at the odds in the front to determine the pace or the danger ahead. So sometimes we don't really have to go through some challenges. We can learn from the people who have been in those challenges. So I have two stories I want us to look at tonight. It's not anything new under the sun. It's actually a common thing, but it's something I've had a friend who's spoken to me about it, and also somebody I've been counseling. We're also looking into that together as well. But to protect their identity, I'm not going to be putting the story out the way it is. I'm just going to be bringing out the issue and then we look at it. Thanks for joining, Millie. Thanks for joining, Tahid. Thanks all for joining. At some point, I'm going to have to get my glasses. Dantua, thanks for joining. Okay, the first story is this. The first story is about food in matrimony. Husband complaining about food. And this is something that has actually happened to me in person, and then, we dealt with it in my own way. But then I want to learn and hear other people's view and opinion before I go to the way I handled my own problem. Thanks for joining, Sister Christine. Thank you all for joining. Yeah, I think Sister Christine will remember this story if I mentioned my own experience. Now, the first story is this. There are people who do not like eating stale food, if I may use the word stale. They like to eat fresh food, cook it today, eat the soup today, finish the soup, clean your pot. And that is something that is easier done in Nigeria. Why do I say that? Because in Nigeria, electricity fluctuates, so you might not really have a fridge to keep it in. So you want to just eat your food and finish it that day. And whatever is left, either you want to keep it, rewarm it for the next day. But there are families who are very strict in cooking the quantity they will finish for that day. They will finish it that day and wash their pot and they're done. And how nice and how beautiful, is that for you to be able to. Thanks for the likes. Please let us like the program so that they can keep us on. And thank you for sharing. It's nice to be able to eat fresh food every day. Cook fresh, eat fresh. It's beautiful, it's a nice thing. But there are situations and circumstances that may make it quite difficult, to do all the time, especially for your wife. And if the wife is also working, it's a difficult one. But I have this. How many of them? There's two that is actually really, really hot at the moment. And these are two couples who just came from Nigeria to start living in England. And the issue is, she knows I don't like food cooked from yesterday. I want to eat my food fresh and hot. And why is she putting the food in the freezer? And this has become issue to the point where the man has stopped eating in the house. He'd rather go and buy food outside, which is funny to me. I'll tell you why it's funny to me later on. And then you see the irony of the what's the word now? I won't call it deceit. The irony of ignorance of what the man is doing. So that's the first story. There are three people involved in this. I have an idea of how to deal with the problem. I want other people to join in and let's discuss. How are they supposed to go ahead with this? Should the woman, now let's also bear in mind, these women, they work 12-hour shifts. They are in England, they are new, they have children, They have to go to work. They have to come and cook, serve the husband, look after the children. For the remaining 12 hours, they have to sleep. So even if they sleep for 6 hours, all they have actually is another 6 hours in a day. And the husband expects them to cook fresh food every day. So if they may not be up to 3 square meal, because if you are spending 12 hours at work, that's not possible. So let's say 2 meals in a day. And for that 2 meals, she has to cook it fresh. So if he's having lunch, it has to be fresh. If he's having dinner, it has to be fresh. But this woman cannot. She has to go to work. How do we balance this up? What advice can we give this couple to save their marriage? Please let us join in and contribute. My sister, ìyàwó okay. Ó yẹ gbórí wọlé o. Emmanuel. Oh yeah. Thanks for joining, Josie. Gertrude, thanks for joining. Desbon, thanks for joining. And thanks for liking. Okay, ma.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma. Thanks for joining.
You're welcome. It's a tough one. It's a very, very tough one. Considering that the hours in which they both work. I don't know how many hours what the man does. I don't know how many hours.
Well, one of them does 12 hours as well. And then another one does 8 hours. And the third one actually runs business from home.
Okay. We're not in Nigeria for a start. And we all as adults have to learn to adapt. Yeah, and that is where wisdom and understanding comes into play in a relationship. Back in Nigeria, there is home help. Here is DIY. And the expectation is the woman should maintain whatever they've had in Nigeria, which is not practicable here. It's not. And that's the honest truth. I think the men demanding that, they can't eat anything that is cooked from the night before is very, very unfair. Unless they want to stop the wife from working for their own bellies. You understand?
But if they stop the wife from working, are they able to pay all the bills by themselves?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They need to sit down at a table and have a thorough conversation. This is not child's play, and this is somebody's life at stake. Because eventually the women will crash, and I mean will crash. I've been there 1 year and done the t-shirt. It is not easy. So many things will suffer if they're adamant that that's what they're doing. A lot of things will suffer. Even that relationship itself will suffer. By the time the woman goes grab the charcoal,
You can't even do it again, man.
yeah, it's not me. It's from Desbon.
Okay.
She needs to know.
Sorry, let me do that.
Thank you.
Wọ́n ì tí ì mute náà, wọ́n ì tí ì mute.
But
It needs to mute. Okay. Right. So they need to sit down, to be quite honest. Advice on air will not even resolve the problem. They need to sit down with somebody to intervene. Someone who has been in this country for longer than they have been needs to be in the picture. Because if not, that marriage, that relationship will come to an end just because of food, which is not worth it. And a lot of things will suffer in the process. The children, that marriage will be non-existent. The woman, you know, she can't be herself. It is tiring, it's consuming. She will become ill. She will become ill. Honestly speaking, she will become ill. You know, and to me, it's not fair. It's either they meet each other halfway. Okay, I won't leave you for too long. Give me at least a window, you know, just to please the man. Give me a window of 3 days maximum. Could be less, but not more than 3 days. He needs to adjust. But for him to say, oh, you know, it's a must. Second day, I'm not having it. It's just a day only. Please, who does that here in this country? It's not achievable. Unless, like you said, if the woman is going to stay at home, then how about paying the bills? Unless, I don't know how much the man earns, if his earning power is so much that covers everything and with something left over, not just adequate, not just sufficient. It must be overflowing source of income for the woman to sit down at home. It's impossible. Even with two of them working, they will still be struggling. Honestly, with 2 people working, they'll still be struggling. There'll be overdraft upon overdraft and credit card debts all over the place.
First place.
Yeah. So, you know, if they're not careful, they'll be buying food on credit card. And is that good? It will. That's why I said it's going to affect a lot of things. It will affect the children, it will affect the home, it will affect the marriage, it will affect their finance. You know, we need to be, considerate. And I think that's when the man needs to think about. He needs to consider, unless if he's a good cook, and then they can swap. Okay, you cook today, I cook tomorrow. You cook today, I cook tomorrow. So at least then the woman can have a leeway. She can have a bit of rest. She can put her feet down. She'll have time to do other things. You know, what time does she even have for herself? That is non-existent. Because if you are doing 12 hours shift and you come home and we have 24, you know, unless the man wants to, there's no way if the man wants to get 36 out of, 24 hours, which is impossible. And if those children are young, they're young children, it's very demanding, because you need to prepare them from school. And if they're not getting dinner, free school meals, you have to prepare their meals for the following day. You understand? You have to drop them at school. You need to consider picking them up. You need to dropping them off and picking them. Oh no. Then weekends, you need to consider cleaning the house, washing the clothes. And if you have functions, it's a lot.com. It is a lot. So I think they need to sit down, and each relationship, they look, okay, what do we have? How do we cover this? How do we get over this? How can we achieve this? So, and we need to be, considerate. Okay, let the man say, okay, 3 days maximum, maximum, or look for ways to prepare different things that will not involve you cooking every day. You understand? Because they might have days in which means, oh, okay, Friday, for example, okay, we eat out. But can they afford it?
That's
If they
another
can,
one, eating
yeah,
out. But then, can
if
you
they
eat
can
out
afford
every
it,
day?
yeah, if they can afford it, yeah, maybe Fridays when she comes back, everybody will get chicken and chips. You know, is like what's it called, movie night and popcorn. Nobody is cooking. Everybody is relaxed. You know, so there's so many things you can do, like having, you know, that Friday, like no cooking day, and Thursday you cook on Monday, I cook on Tuesday, or you make meals that you know that it's not going to stress you. Within 1 hour, bang bang bang, everybody eats, they're happy. So it's not one that you're going to start from scratch. You grind the pepper, boil the meat, boil the chicken, and fry this and fry that, and you're there for hours on end. Even whilst you're cooking, you're sleeping. It's just they need to sit down and say, okay, let's all have like a timetable. You know, what do we eat on Tuesday? What do we eat on Thursday? What do we
But
eat on
in
Sunday?
that scenario, how many men, either they know how to cook or they don't know how to cook, would want to go to the kitchen?
That is why they need to sit down at the table and talk. Communication. The woman should not keep quiet. You say, Oga, sit down. Let's talk about this thing. I need help here. I'm drowning. She need to speak up and say, listen, I'm drowning. I'm struggling. She should not keep quiet. Her keeping quiet is not going to help anything. In the civilized way, in a loving way, it's not about fight. It's not about argument. It's not about quarrel. Lord, sweetheart, let's sit down and talk this thing. I need help. I'm drowning. Do you understand? So it depends on how she put her, you know, her, what's it called? Across. Because you can't go it head on and say, I can't do it. Blah, blah, blah. You're just going to get demands back up. He's just going to be on the defense. No matter whatever you want to say, he's not ready to listen. He wouldn't want to hear you out. So you need to come, like the Englishman would say, come correct. Yeah, it's true. Because the man will not let you rub his ego at all. So you need to come correct, you know, like in a humble wife, and call the husband, say, darling, sit up. Let's talk about this thing, please. I'm struggling here. And he will understand.
That's a session.
So, yeah,
Thank you.
communication.
Okay. Thank you, ma. I'll still hold on to that before I bring up the other one. Anybody else wants to come up and advise us on this matter? Thanks for joining, Pastor Frank, Afro Dish Kitchen, Sister Tetsia, only Oya, Igna come. Nah, no, leave me. Kehinde Lawson, thanks for joining. Mara, thanks for joining. Come on, people. How do we deal with this? Festus Olaoye, thanks for joining. People, come up and speak. How do we deal with cooking food fresh or putting it in the freezer? How do we advise this couple? How do they navigate and move on instead of the man getting angry, not eating at home, and going to buy food outside every day, and there's complaint, I don't have money, it's becoming too expensive and all that. That is one complaint. The other complaint is, I can't deal with this is not right. I'll go and have another girlfriend that'll be cooking fresh for me. Funny things, the kind of things that's in the year. Princess Queen, thanks for joining my Baba. That's it to him. I think she's connecting. People, come on. How do we handle this matter? Pastor Frank, where are you? trying to navigate, navigate and find your way.
Um,
Yes, sir. Daddy Festus.
yeah, I think there's no big deal in it, and I think the best thing is if the woman can't do it, in my own opinion, the best thing is to teach the man how to cook the fresh fish. I mean, the fresh food, and the man more or less, because they have to help themselves depending on the timing that they have. So it can teach the man, and the man can cook his own food, his fresh food. Simply maybe he has it because of health issues or because it's something that he fancy. So the two of them can agree, and then if she knows how to cook it and the man doesn't know how to cook it, the best thing for the man to learn how to cook it, and then the woman also to be willing to teach him how to cook it, and then that will solve the problem.
Hmm. That sounds very, very simple, very
Yeah.
nice, and that would have been the best thing if only some of these men would just do that. But being a man, please stay on, don't run away. How if when the man decides I cannot be cooking food, why? So what's the essence of marrying you? If I have to be going to the kitchen and be cooking, how do we deal with that?
Yeah, you're talking about relationship. Relationship is a form of agreement.
Mm,
Definitely there is something that there is a form of agreement before the two of you get into a relationship. But when it
mm-hmm,
comes to a point where, you know, each person define what he enjoys, maybe the woman love to cook, the man love to work, or more or less to do more, whatever pattern of form of relationship they have. The best thing is for agreement, for the two of them to sit down, put the best foot forward. If it is the man that knows how to cook, let him be the one that cooks the most. If it is the woman that knows how to cook, let the woman do the cooking. And in a case where the demand now falls to the man, then the man has to do more. If the man wants to eat more and the woman don't have the time to do it, then the man has to come to help the woman to be able to have a balanced relationship. If not, to just be a chaos.
mm. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, the funny thing for me is this: when, like, one of the men that said, I go out to eat fresh food from restaurant, I just laugh. Why do I laugh? How many food is really, really fresh out there? When you buy chicken and chips, they're all frozen and they are fried from frozen. I have been opportune to, I think, no, I've had people who have worked with, I don't want to mention names of companies, big companies with labels, that sell frozen food. And some of them, you think they just baked the pizza or they just did this. They are all full. 90% are frozen. Talk about African food as well. Okay, when they cook a big pot of soup now, vegetable, for instance, it's cooked fresh and they sold maybe half of it. The remaining half, are they going to throw it away? No. They're going to preserve it either in the fridge or in the freezer. They'll bring it out the next day. If that is not finished, they're not going to cook another one. So where exactly are we deceiving with this fresh food business? And you think, oh, my wife is not giving me fresh food because she has frozen the food in your presence. The ones you buy outside there, how many are actually really, really fresh? If you want to talk about Nigeria, yeah, because Nigeria is different. You can see all the pots right in your presence and you can point, this is the one I want, this is the one I want. Even the one in Nigeria, it is not everything they finish selling in the same day. Well, are they going to throw away the leftover? Thank you all for joining. Brother Demola, thanks for all the likes. God bless you. Thank you. Wow. Banky Baby, thanks for joining. Candy, thanks for joining. Guiwa, thanks for joining. If I cannot pronounce your name, please pardon me. It's not my fault. I cannot pronounce some of the things written here. CJ, thanks for joining. Reptile, oh. Adam, everyone, thanks you for joining. Come on, let's contribute as a man and as a woman. If you find yourself in such a situation, How do you handle it? How do you go about it? Come on, people. Thanks for the roses. Yeah, okay. I saw the roses. Thank you, Sister Waru Guy. Thanks for joining. Desmond, thanks for the gifts. Thanks, sister. Come on, people. Come on. How do we advise this couple struggling with frozen food and fresh food? And they both go to work. The man is not ready to cook. The wife, my own experience is actually quite funny. The issue was my food was not even frozen. The food was cooked fresh, and then I put it in the microwave and I cover it up just for my boyfriend then to come home. He comes home like 12, 1 o'clock, and I need to wake up 4 a.m. to get ready to go to work. And he expect me to wake up when he comes in, warm up the food, and come and serve him. So that was another level entirely. Oh, thinking about
Well,
it. Go on.
yeah, there's nothing wrong in that. If that's how he feels love or he wants to receive love,
Oh,
and
so
if you,
Mr.
yeah,
Festus, be very
yeah,
careful. You're online, but I can still shoot you from here.
yeah,
So
it
I
doesn't
should wake
matter.
up 1 a.m. midnight,
Yeah.
warm his food and serve him, and then sleep for 3 hours, and then wake
See,
up and go
that's
to
the
work.
yeah, that's the reason why it's a relationship. You see, if that's what he wants,
Okay.
and that's the way you want to feel loved, by you giving such things sacrificially. You see, if that's what you want, and the two of you can come to the table and agree on that, there's nothing wrong in that. But
Okay.
if the women now have this notion that that's too much for her to do, that's where the problem comes. It's a question of the two of you agreeing that, okay, this is the way the woman wants to feel love, this is the way the man wants to feel love. It takes the two of you to tango. So if that's an agreement, maybe that's how you started in Nigeria, wherever you came from. And now, if the pattern is changing, that's where the problem is. So if some people may sacrificially give a lot to their wife, do this, do that, and if they stop, then the balance of the love begins to shake. So if that's the pattern of marriage or that's the pattern of the relationship, why not keep it? It may look
Okay.
odd to other people. It may look odd to you. You
It may
understand
look
that?
odd to other people. It may look odd
But
to you. You understand
but
that?
if
Odd to
that's
other people. It may look
the
odd.
way, I think
It
there's
may
something
look
wrong
odd.
with the audio.
Tessie, let me
Okay.
pause your microphone for now. It's sending echo. Yeah, go on, Festus.
Yeah. So if the kind of mutual
Yeah.
agreement,
So if the
interdependency
kind of
that you have,
mutual.
hello, can you hear me?
Tessie, I'm gonna unmute you when it's time. Please hold on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Tessie, I'm gonna unmute. Sorry, yeah, Festus, go on.
Okay. You can't say the kind of love bond that they have is right or wrong. That's why we chose the person we chose based on certain parameters. If that is what the man or the woman demands to be loved, and the other partner is ready to give it that way, that's the reason why they click. So it may be wrong in your own opinion or other people's opinion, but if that's what they want, if that's what keeps the peace and the mutual relationship, then it should be so.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you there, Mr. Festus. If
Okay.
that was a mutual agreement, we will not even bring it up for a discussion. So the bottom line is that was a new thing. It was a new relationship and all that. And this is what the man on a good day, if there's no work, she does all the serving the food and all that was no big deal. Where it became a big deal was the fact that she's already sleeping. Now she has to be waking up 1 a.m. to warm up the food, serve the man, and then go back to sleep, which it's mostly not possible to fall back to sleep. Or by the time you end up falling back, maybe it will be 3 a.m. and you have to get up 4 a.m. to go to work. And that is where the problem comes in. Like, listen, I can't do that. You're messing up with my sleep pattern. And I'm going to go to work and be struggling. So that is the situation. And that is why she's saying, sorry, I can't do that. And that's where the problem starts. So what do you think should be the way forward between the man and the woman on that?
Yeah, but with what you've said, automatically, if the woman says, I can't do it, and the man wants it done, that means there's a dissolution on the marriage. You see? So if the word I can't on both sides, then which means there is no way forward. What kind of advice do one want to do? One want to give to two people who have used, I can't do this, I can't do that. There's no advice that will come in into that place.
But then there is a solution, there's a way around it. Before we get to the point of the solution, we can find way around it, solve issues, solve problem. And this is my take on this. Olabusi, wow, thanks for joining. Nice to have you. You are hearing double because somebody is speaking at the moment. And I think you have two devices on, Sister Tessie. So maybe you need to turn off one device and then you won't have that double business again. And now, Mr. Festus, for me, this is because this, what I'm saying now is a personal thing, not another person's story. So I can speak for myself because it happened to me. And why I got upset about it, I see it as being selfish and being very inconsiderate. Not that the food has not been made. The food is not in the freezer. The food that has been made has been served in the plate, but covered up. Only for you to warm it up is the problem now. I see it as being selfish. I see it as being very, very inconsiderate. I expect a man to understand, my baby or my woman too is also going to go to work. Warm your food yourself. What is the big deal in warming your food yourself? And now we are trying to encourage or advise, like you said, that if you want fresh food every day, learn from your wife, go and cook your fresh food yourself. When some men are even refusing to warm the food up, how do we go from there, sir?
That's a funny, and well, for the men, I'm not in the position of that person. I don't know the reason why he's demanding for that.
He's
You have
demanding
to
for it
put
just
in.
because that's what he likes.
Yeah, if it comes to what he likes, you see, that's where I go into the issue of relationship. It's a mutual agreement. The woman should, marriage, it's marriage is more or less like a selfish people signing up for a selfless work. Marriage is a selfless thing. You're trying to please your your spouse, you see. So which means you're ready to put down your own ego, put down a lot of things to be able to help
Mm.
the family. You see, you seek what the other person loves.
Mm-hmm.
If you are to seek your own thing, what you want and everything about you, then that means you need to stay single. It's much, much easier to achieve that when you stay
Mm.
single, you see. But when you're married, then it has to be the other person. So, and the other person also has to tend towards you, trying to please you while you are trying to please the person. So
Sacrificial
that's what
love.
you, yeah. So it has to be um, interdependency. So if that's what the person, what you love, and that's how you receive love, what you would like her to do, to cook the food, and when you come back, you want your wife to warm it and give it to you. I don't see any reason why that should become a dispute if the agreement is there. I can understand where you're trying to put it as if, oh, after the woman has done this, has done that, she wants to go to work and all those barriers that you are putting in it. But that doesn't make it outrageous. That doesn't make it impossible. You see, if that's what the man wants, and that's the reason why the marriage is holding. But now this is the clause. If it is something that it's not possible for the woman to do, for example, he has 10 minutes to catch up at work. He comes in, he doesn't have the time to do it or wherever to do it. You see, then well,
When
it's
he
not
comes in,
possible.
he's gonna eat and go to bed.
Who's going to eat? And
The man is gonna eat and go to bed.
yeah, I'm not saying it's like you're showering the man with
No, no,
with
no.
love.
I'm painting the real
See,
picture for you.
okay,
I'm not showering and I'm just telling you what happened. He's gonna eat
yeah.
because it happened to me. So I'm not
See,
talking about somebody else's story.
see. Let me tell you one thing that need to know about men. Men want to
Okay.
feel like a king. For a man not to have that as a vision to be a king, you have to desire to have your own empire. One thing that you have to go for, it doesn't matter what it is, you have to go to establish your own empire. You don't want somebody to come and intrude. Man is somebody who is territorial. They want to have their territory. They want to have that this belongs to me. It takes a lot. That's the reason why from the beginning, a man has to understand what it is to be a man, work in such a way to be able to create his own empire. Without that, he won't be able to achieve that. But if you've done your homework, create your own empire, being able to work on your finances and being able to dictate what you want through your finances, then you can determine all this that, okay, you want this, you want that, you want this, you want that. But
Brother
if you are
Festus, I'm going
defaulting
to
in that,
pause you there
yeah,
because you are becoming a motivational speaker on another level now. So let's come back to the topic on ground.
okay,
I'm still on my point. So you're saying because he's a man, he's the king, he's the mansion, and what have you, is the dominator, is the alpha and omega and everything. Is that enough reason not to be considerate of your fellow humans' feelings?
that's not what I'm saying. I think what you're saying and what I'm saying, I'm bringing into the circumstances why a man can demand for that. If he has
Yeah, and I'm
created,
saying, what is demanding? Is it fair?
there is nothing fair in relationship. You could see men kneeling down in order to ask for a woman that the man has probably slept with so many times, and kneeling down to say, will you marry me? Is that fair?
That's his
That's not
choice.
fair. That's what I'm saying. It's the choice between the two of them. You see? So if the man feel that I marry this woman, she's fair to me, she can agree to my terms and condition, that's the reason why the man chose the woman. He didn't choose any other person. If he chose the woman, that this is a woman that will favor me to do this for me, and he prepares and
Useless
create
fool.
the condition. Look
I
at it. It's
disagree
not
with you,
useless.
sir.
Okay.
I beg,
Okay,
I
Okay.
Professor,
Yeah.
disagree with you
let me,
Talking as a man.
100%.
before
I
the woman will
disagree
break
with you
your head for where they are,
100%, sir.
let me pause
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Before we go on, I want to complain. I beg, Ìyàwó, okay. What is happening? You are the one getting flower, getting roses, getting everything. Wetin happen to me? Eh? Make na send me
Me,
one
I've given
flower come
you.
my side now.
Me, I gave you first.
After you gave, I was seeing plenty going to yourself. What is happening?
Ah,
I am jealous,
ó
you
lọ
know.
fa ó lọ fa àárín yẹn lọ fa ẹja kúrò ń bẹ̀.
Okay, Sister Tessie, come up quickly.
Good evening, no.
Good evening.
Oh my word. Relationship, like you said, is selfish. Two selfish people coming together. The thing is this. I expect every man to at least be considerate. Personally, I love cooking. Personally, I can wake up when my husband comes back and give you and warm the food and give to you and still wake up and go out by 4
100.
o'clock. I can still do that. But If there are some days I can't even stand up and he does it, there's no big deal.
I'm telling you.
If I do it, it's a big favor, it's a sacrifice. If I can't, it's expected I should do it. Love, they said, is reciprocal. Coming to cooking fresh meal. If there is provision, then make me work less. I can do it. You don't expect me to go 5 or 7 days shift, 12 hours. Then you want me to cook fresh meal. My dear, it's not done anywhere. I will die, then another woman will come in. It's not done. You know, I'm an advocate of a woman doing just 20 hours. To be honest with you. If you want to get the best out of your woman, let her do 20 hours.
Exactly.
And when a woman does 20 hours, you get everything you need from her. Everything. Waking up 4 p.m., waking up 3 p.m., 3 a.m. to feed you in the mouth. You will get it. Because when a man is responsible, what is a responsible man? That man who takes care of the home. And the Bible said, we are the neck. So my 20 hours is probably go to Lidl, buy all the stuff that 20 hours can kill. And you pay the bills. That's it. I have a friend who does that. She do 20 hours. For the past 2 years, they've been in UK. The husband does not know where Lidl is. The husband does not know where Tesco is. The husband does not know where market is. The husband does not know where any market. He works from Monday to Friday. The woman work Saturday and Sunday. And at the end of the day, when her money comes, she tell me, babe, I go to market. I shop all that we need for the house. My husband pay the bills. You see them happy. No wahala. When you tell me to put my leg on top, I put. If you say run to the Tesco, I run. Because I have the strength. I've taken care of the kids. I've taken care of the home. When they say a woman takes care of home, it's not only kids. You don't only go into market and cook.
No.
You make sure that the house is clean. Make sure that the children is updated. Make sure that even the man clothes is on top. Make sure that everything is all right. I beg go. Make una no kill us before our time.
No.
You know they're possible. I wish we were plenty in this call. If it makes sense, pass. Brother is talking as a man.
There's many of
No,
us.
I'm not. Okay,
Sir,
I'm
sorry.
listening.
Sorry.
Yeah.
When you love a woman a little, she gives you a word. That is how we are. Just a little.
Not to come and die.
She will give you her word. It's the people that push us when we don't bear. Because a woman is ready to bear to a very large extent. But the day she will be bored, people will say, because you don't want to stay for husband house. But nobody knows. I have a friend that just left a few days ago. I cried yesterday. All through while I was at work when she called me. I cried. Why did I cry? It's not easy to be a single mom. That's not one. It's not easy. But my cry is this. The children. That's my cry.
Oh, so far.
I like co-parenting. If that's the case, let's be inside the flat and co-parent. And have peace. If that will make us have peace. This is a man that they came to UK, you're a banker. She was a nurse. NHS took her from Nigeria and brought her here. She knelt down and told you and promised you that I will never take you to police. I will never report anything to anyone, but let us come, love ourselves, do our bit. This man practically worship her while we're in Nigeria. At least there are people that I know from Nigeria. It's not that maybe I met them. Sorry?
Don't mention name.
No, I'm not mentioning him. I said, I know them from Nigeria, right? There are people that I know. The man have worshipped her. When I mean worship, everybody knows that this man worshipped this girl. All of a sudden, when I came into UK, they have been here for 4 years now. And she started saying, see what your brother they do. See what I said, what's bringing all of this rubbish? Even to the extent she had to, okay, if okay, because I have work, I'm the one that is earning more. Okay. When she receives salary, she move it to the man's account. He's not satisfied. The man wake up again when the man now got done the IT whatever and had his own work from home and all that. She asked me one question because some men I don't understand them. She said, "Babe, your son is 10 years, right?" I said, "Yes." "Okay, my son is 14." Do you know that my husband expects me to bathe that 14 years old child? I say that boy is not preparing others to go to school. My boys bathe themselves and prepare for school. Why I'm even lying down on the bed? It's only when the food is serious, that's when you come up. If a man is now wanting you to wake up in the morning or go for night shift and come back and wake up that did not even sleep and start bathing 14 years old child, which means
That's a personal vendetta.
Go to the extent that you can be open your mouth and be calling your wife prostitute. So these are the things we're talking about.
Envy. A lot of issues are crept in. Envy
Yes,
is
now the lady envy came in. Envy came in, and that's why they now opened an account. It's okay, 50-50. And this thing, I hate this thing for UK, this 50-50 thing. Instead of me to do 50-50 with you as a husband, with other co-parent.
Okay, we are going to another topic. Let's come back to this food business. But our first thoughts. Okay, mommy. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, come in. Kinto para si. Our first thoughts need a by dear lale.
Yeah, that's why I said I disagree with Brother Festus, because I think you are missing the point. We all agree the man wants to build an empire. We all agree that the man is the head of the house. We all agree that the man is the leader. We all agree that the man have the last say. We all agree that he's the father of our children. Yes, no one is taking that away from them. But what we're talking about is being in this country. We cannot live as if we're living in Nigeria. In Nigeria, there is home help for that wife. Even if the wife was working 12 hours in Nigeria, there is always house help. That we just kind of like alleviate the level of pressure. Yeah, because I know that some men who like their empire don't want the house help to cook for their husband. Yes, fair enough. But in time where we're here, you are the housemaid though. You will pick up everything. You will wash the vegetable, cut the vegetable, squeeze the vegetable, cook the vegetable, serve the vegetable, wash plate after. But back at home, even if you had been the one who cooked the meal, you have home help who will stand there and wash the plates and wash the pots. We don't have all that here. And someone cannot go for 12 hours and you expect that person to be able to function. That is not achievable. I'm telling you the truth. We are talking from a woman's point of view. We are not wired that way. We are not wired to stand for 12 hours and then come back.
It's not even about, I'm sorry to say, this issue is not about femininity or masculinity. It's not about woman or man. It's about a human being.
Yeah, it's still part of being
flesh
human.
and blood, though.
Maybe what you're saying, it's different from what you're saying here is a situation where the man wants the woman to cook and to do certain things which is not palatable, which I've said that, look, that's not practical.
Okay.
You understand? But I am saying that in a case where you said that, okay, the man is demanding for fresh food, if that's what the man loves and that's what the man wants, and he has worked and he has done his homework in the sense that financially and every other thing, he has done his homework for the woman to be able to do it. I'm not asking the woman to do the impossible. For example, in my own personal life, my wife can't beat me when it comes to taking care of the kids. I would say she can't even try it, because I will wake up, wake my kids up, bath them, take them to school, go and bring them from school. And
which is very good, sir.
But she can't even try it close to me when it comes to that. So
your case is the perfect one. We're talking
it's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. We are struggling.
No, I'm just saying.
No marriage that is.
I'm just saying because the scenario the host gave us is completely different from the picture from what you are saying. Because you are one of the 1% out of the 99 that is very considerate. You understand? We're talking about how do we resolve this matter where it comes to where the man is expecting the woman to
Fresh
DIY
food every
everything.
day, at least 2
That's
meals a
what that's
day.
what- and
It has to be
we're
fresh on
looking
the
at
table.
ways in
Yeah, what
resolving ways that we can suggest how they can move forward. You understand? So that nobody is we're not doing this at the detriment of anybody's health. This
what
is
I'm
what we're
saying is,
talking about. We
if
want
the
us to
man
give us idea.
if the man is demanding for something, that this is what I want 2 meals a day, he will have made the provision for that to be possible.
He
But in a
would
case
have, but
where
in this case, he hasn't.
then he can't demand,
Thank
he
you.
can't have it. He
Thank
can't,
you
it's
very much.
impossible.
That's what we're waiting to hear from
It's
you. You can't have
impossible.
it.
Yeah, it's not possible.
Oh, lè ṣe síbi tó jẹ tó ibi tó jẹ wò lè máa jẹ níbi tó ṣe sí náà.
Yeah. The man has to lead in every way to be able to now demand something that he has worked for.
Wow. This marriage matter, eh? I tire. Oh.
Now, this is my own take on this issue, yeah. Now, is Pastor Brother Festus has said one. I think Mommy Yaki also said the same thing. One is learning how to cook and also getting the food done yourself. So even if you are able, maybe she's helped you do the prep before she goes out. When you come back, you can put it together, make your fresh food, and eat. And in the place where you cannot cook, now you say, "Well, I go gas." That's number one.
Because I people they like fresh food, because I be cook now, sure.
It's not everybody that can cook. Oh, it is, like Brother Festus has said, is the man, is the alpha.
Yeah, I don't like to cook. I don't even want to cook.
But you
I
can take care of
eat
my
anything.
children.
No, I can eat anything. Then
Oh,
secondly,
and you can take
you
care of
can't beat
children. I will
me
serve you
on
for
the other
life.
side. Yeah, you can't beat me. You can't beat me on the other
Bam.
side. But I don't want to cook.
That's what we're saying. That's why Yaoke said that you are perfect. That's why she used that word.
I'm not at
I
all.
know, but why she used that word in the sense that
Yeah.
if you are able to do that, you've already taken a lot of load
From the woman.
Yeah.
off your wife. And so she also can balance, in the other ways,
The other one,
the things you also want. That's what she said. You've already, that one major, children alone. Yeah.
He's a,
No,
You've done it, so you know.
you don't even
what I'm
you
saying.
don't even need to ask me. It's something that I do for the 3 of my kids that I
So
have.
when you've taken that off a
247.
woman,
Yeah.
she will do 3 square meal.
For herself and afters. She will do afters.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're saying. So in the place where your husband wants fresh food, number one, you cannot have 3 square meal for fresh. Forget that one. It's not gonna happen. Why did I say that? It's not just because I'm saying it's not going to happen, but there is reason. If your woman is doing 12-hour shift, it's 2 ways. Either she starts 8 a.m. or she starts 8 p.m. Or she starts 9 a.m. and finishes 9 p.m. for the 12 hours. Or she does 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. in the morning.
That's where the problem is.
That's
The
what I'm
woman
saying.
is doing
When is
so
he
much
getting home?
hours.
Do you understand? So
That's where
there's
the
no way
problem
she's
is.
going to give you 3 square meter. Forget that one. The one will miss. So, like what Sister Tessie said is, how beautiful and nice would it have been that we as women, I'm adding myself because me, I do more than 12 hours self.
Yeah, it's wrong.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
women's
How
body are
beautiful
not
it would have been
designed.
if we can do just 20 hours just to compensate.
Yeah.
But now the truth of it and the irony of it is that 99% of us, it is not possible. Let us be real. It's
Yeah,
not
it
possible.
is possible. It is possible. We
How
just
is it
need to
possible,
tune
sir?
down.
Bros, I've told you how possible it's going to be. Yeah, do 20 hours. I give you fresh food in the morning, afternoon, and night. Then go to the other room. I will give you all you want. Simple.
Sister Blessing, pause first, I beg
You
you.
see, you see. Let me say this. You see, men's body and women's body are different.
Mm-hmm.
The
Okay.
women's body are not designed to do so much work.
Thank
That's
you,
why
sir.
God
That's
gives
why I said
you
we're not
a,
wired the same way.
yeah, we're not. The men's body are in most cases underutilized. Our body is designed in such a way to be able to take a lot of pressure, to work as much as you can.
Bam. You
You
said
see,
it, sir.
that's the reason why God makes us so strong and give us logic. The women's body is designed for beauty. You see, that's the reason why they do all the painting, put stuff in their nails and all those things.
Ẹ̀bùwà
The
Tell
more,
yourself, say I won't go
And
clean my
our
nails.
face,
Thank
and
you.
our face, our
Ẹ ti fẹ́ bú wa
legs.
tẹ́lẹ̀ ni.
You just remind me that I
so
want to clean my nails.
the
You're
more,
outnumbered here, so
yeah, the more you work, the chances is there that it's going to catch up in the 60s and in the 70s because your body is not designed, women's body are not designed to do so much work. So the men's body are designed in such a way that the more pressure you give to the men's body, the better the man's becomes. So that's why pressure is good for the man, tension is good for the man, everything is good for the man to make the man better because the man builds the world, the women beautifies it. So, and it takes a lot of pressure, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of hardship for this to be achieved. So, to me, in my own opinion, it's not really the best thing for women to do so much hour because they're going to pay for it later on.
Much for that addition and subtraction and plus. But I'm still on this point. Thank you all for joining. I'm very sorry. On what's it called, Facebook, I couldn't connect. So a lot of people are like, what's happening with the Facebook connection? And some also are struggling to connect with TikTok because we've stopped Zoom. So further notice. So I'm really sorry about that. I'll try and resolve it before we come on live again. Still on this matter, I believe strongly that it has to do with a lot of inconsideration and selfishness. Me. And also that is also a lot about how much you love your wife or how much you love your husband. But now we're looking at the food aspect, so it's more on the husband side tonight. If you truly love your wife and you also know, now another thing again is this, because people's stories is too diverse, it's different. If your story is that your wife works 12 hours and the money she earns, she puts it in her pocket, she does not support the family and what have you, then that can bring a lot of problem. That can bring a lot of issue. That's another topic going for another day. But out of the 12 hours she does, she also supports the family. I do not see anything wrong in you also helping. That's number one. Number two is on the issue of frozen food. Frozen food has not killed anyone. No. It saves time and it saves lives. Even that frozen food she has cooked, Papa, it's not easy. To cook, I've seen a lot of women do it and I do it, but then I cook around the clock, so I'm a different human being entirely. So don't compare yourself to me. And I'll not compare myself to women who say they can't do it. We are not all workaholic like me. So even like maybe you work Monday to Friday, and then Saturday is the day you choose to do all the cooking. The major thing African women cook, they'll cook beans, stew, maybe ewedu or okroila, vegetable. Then they will do jollof rice. That's cooking 5 different meals in one day. By the time she's done cooking that, the kitchen is 100% in a mess. So after cooking, she has to dish all the food out, probably leave few in the pots when you eat and then wash up the pot. She has to dish them. She has to start washing up. She has to clean the cooker. clean the whole kitchen where all the oil has stained. She has to wipe down, sweep the floor, mop the floor. Now, by the time she's done, have it in mind, even she has not even worked Monday to Friday, she has been sleeping from Monday to Friday, how much more she's been working. By the time she finishes on that Saturday, she's knackered. Between me and you, this has happened to me severally. If you ask me to come, let us do night play. You yourself, you can't even ask me because you see that I'm already there like vegetable. You're already pitying me, except if you don't have any human feeling. You can't even ask me for night play. It's not possible. Your conscience will be doing, this one that has been standing since. But what if, while I was in the kitchen or the woman was in the kitchen, you also assisted her? How can I help you? There's so many times when I'm done cooking like that, I can't, when my children were still very young, I'm done. I leave the pot, I leave everything, and I'm naked. My leg is gone, my back is gone. Most of the time, my husband will be the one to go and wash up and clean up. So whatever is left over, maybe he didn't do it properly or someplace he overlooked, then I'll finish up the next day because I am done. I can't lift my hand anymore. So we're talking about being considerate, having human feelings. We're talking about being understanding, being compassionate, having empathy. You cannot tell me you love me. You cannot even love if you don't have empathy. It's a lie. When you see your woman suffering and in pain, and you are like, that's her job, and you cannot help, go say, Sarah, how can I help you? Is that love? It's her job. Her job is the kitchen. Her job is to sweep. Who made her a cleaner? Is she a domestic staff? The house is all our house. The mess is our mess. The ball of it falls on the woman. Why? That is because the way we've been brought up. And women are complaining now more than before. Now we call them feminine women. We call them rebelling. We say they are not being submissive. But where are we coming in as men to help these women so that we don't collapse? And so that we can also give you 100% of ourselves. If 99% of myself has gone to working, that means you're only going to get 1%. And then you're going to start complaining about that 1%. You will start complaining. You don't have time for me. You are always tired. You are this, you are that. Complaint will start. So let us try and create a balance. As a woman also, let us try and our best. Even if, in such a situation where you know that this man loves fresh food, even it's the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, try and give him fresh food. That is if you work Monday to Friday. But there's no way you work 7 days in a week. So the days you are done working, try and give him fresh food. So you're also saying, not that I don't want to do, I am willing to do, but I'm not able to. So the frozen food are there, but the days you are not working, give him something different, not the usual thing because it's not every food you can keep in the freezer. For instance, you cannot keep spaghetti in the freezer. When you bring it out, it's rubbish. You cannot tell me you're doing fried egg and yam and put it in the freezer. It's not the same. So you also need to go out of your way and, be creative with your food and do something new and fresh for your man. So in as much as we are saying, we are demanding, we are asking for, then we also must be willing to give. Trade by barter, and then there will be peace. It should not be too much on one side. When it becomes too much on one side, that is when rebellions will come in that will strive will come in. And another thing again is a lot of men do not know or understand that as much as a woman gives and gives and gives, we get drained. We get drained physically, emotionally, mentally. And then a lot of women are even going through depression. Their husband don't know. Men go through depression, yeah, everybody goes through it. But I'm talking about when it comes to fatigue, when it comes to stress in the home. You're so drained because okay, let me put it maybe, I can't even put a ratio to it unless I do my research. But this is a very, very sensitive one because we are all different. So I can't put a percentage to it. But there are a lot of women who they are the one carrying the home emotionally, spiritually, maybe not financially, but to some people they are even doing the financial part. But mostly emotionally, they are the one carrying the home. Mentally, papa, spiritually, they are doing the have you ironed your clothes? Have you done your assignment? Have you do this? You go and do that. You go and do this. And the man is not there or he's at work. Who is spreading the clothes? Who is doing this? Managing the affairs of the home. Who injured? Go and bring the plaster. Let me do your leg. Bring the ice. Let me put on your injury. They're here. They're going round and round like headless chicken. Kudos to men like Mr. Festus who will stand in the gap for their children. Who will take that burden? I mean, if you know that is not the strength of your wife, and for peace sake, and for your union, for your marriage, and for the sake of your children, step in. And not, are you a woman? What kind of a wife are you? You cannot do this. It is not about fight. It is about understanding. That is not our strength. Then where is our strength? Praise her where our strength is. Encourage her where she is weak or where she's struggling. Vice versa. It is not all men that are what's the word? Not that they are not hardworking. Come on, what's the word now? Who are go-getters like that, or who are able, to bring a lot of money into the family. Not all men. Not all men are entrepreneurs who will say, okay, I've done my normal pay shift. I'm thinking of what else can I do to bring extra money to the. Not all men. So if you have have a husband who also can do that, there must be other areas where he has the strength. Praise him where he has strength. Support him where he is struggling. In that way, we will all have peace. Anybody wants to add to tonight's topic before we wrap it up? Thank you all for joining. You are sending donuts, sending gift, sending bag. JJ baby. Okay, where is my own? I am seeing, I am watching.
I think you said quite a lot, Ma. And the bottom line is, working together, because it is called marriage. We are married intertwined into each other. Marriage is not a one-man thing or it's a one-woman thing. It's two of us. Two of us build together. Two of us makes the home. Two of us have children together. It's not my children. It's not your children. It's our children. And for the home to have peace, we need to come to agreement in every area, whether it's finance, whether it's food, no matter how small we think it is, I've seen marriages that broke up over toothpaste. How you are pressing, you're not pressing in the middle. You're supposed to press in the front, and they kick each other, and that was it. Everything went, scatter. But in terms of where this food matters, although they say the way to a man's belly is through his stomach. Yeah, we know that. But at the same time, let's be amicable. Let's have empathy. Let's have sympathy, and understand that we're not where we have endless home help. If one misbehave, we fire and we hire another one straight away. But let's come together. Let's, if we can, mirror something like what Brother Festus was saying, that he took so responsibility in looking after the children. And to be honest, that is 50% out of everything we're arguing about. That's 50% of it done. Where if you think you can't meet up with the food cooking and everything, like my sister, she's already dropped now. She's left. Maybe she's in the comment section. She said, I work 20 hours. Give me 20 hours. Then I can, jump, skip, do whatever for you. But because she will still have something in reserve, she will still have that strength, she will still have that energy, she will still have focus. But when I've worked 12 hours and you still want me to slave after the cooker just to make, to build the empire for you, then I'm going to crash. Then you want my death. You don't want you don't want me to be in that marriage. You want me dead. Especially in this country. I'm not talking back at home, but in this country, that is not visible. We have to come to an agreement. We have to come to an understanding. We have to lay on the table how it's going to work. Like I even suggested, okay, if you can't give me 7 days in a week of fresh food, can you give me at least 3? So Amumorani, let's tolerate each other. Let's tolerate each other. Because the woman indirectly, she's crying for help. If the man is not listening, she's going to have mental issues because she won't be able to function. There is no way she won't even be able to function in that 12 hours work. Talk of let's look after the children. Talk of let's look after that man. That food that he wants. After a while, the woman can't keep up. She will crash. You can't. We have to sit down together, adults, and agree. Thank you. My submission.
God bless you. God bless you. Thanks for joining all the new people joining. Chinoa, Grace. Thanks for joining. We have a new person, Ayayi Debbie. Thanks for joining. I don't know if you have been following us and you know the topic we are on. I don't know if you want to join us. Ayayi Debbie, do you want to speak?
No, saying that.
Maybe I don't know. I do. Thank you very much. But Festus, you have a last word for us, sir.
Yeah, that's at least for this topic. That is just for the two of marriage is a hard thing, So, but at the same time, we are both into it. We are new. We are learning on the line. We make our mistake, correct ourselves, and to be willing to forgive and mend ways and then improve ourselves, So I think, in my own opinion, is always to allow the best foot forward. If your wife knows certain things better than you do, the man should be, the man should be able to be humble enough to admit that, okay, she's better in this field. Let her deal with it in this field, while the other one is learning. And if it's something to do in the other field, let her be learning from you. So that way you can rub into each other and become better each day. The basic line is improving yourself every day. And the man has more burden of performance to put upon themselves than the woman, because the man is more responsible for more things than the woman. So the man is the major thing that has to see himself as He needs to learn. So if your woman has worked 8 hours, to me, the man should do more than double. So if he wants the peace, if he wants to be able to control and have a marriage, he has to do more, exceedingly more. So men's body are designed to do more, and he should be able to do it.
Thank you very much for joining and for your contribution. My beautiful sister Anwuli.
My sister, we have all spoken well. Most especially to me, any marriage that lack communication will always hit the rock.
Hmm.
If we can communicate from the depth of our heart, from the depth of our heart, I mean from the depth of our heart, I think we won't have issues. Not that we won't have issues, but the issues will be limited. It will be limited to a certain stage, not the way, like this food thing, like example that you made, come in the night and because you came late, you couldn't go, it's waking me up. If there's a communication that, honey, please, this food is already in the microwave, will kindly assist to warm. I think when you should know that, okay, when I come in, I will warm and eat. Or better still, he will tell you, oh, warm it before you go to bed, things like that. Or let's get a flask and put it so that it will be warm. When I come, I don't need to warm. I think things like that can actually make us move forward. Communication. That's it.
Thank you very much. I'm going to wrap you up with this, how I solved my own small drama on the food. And we talked about it, talking about communication, but the communication didn't work. So I had to get my sister involved. We packed ourselves. I went to my big sister, and then we tabled the matter to her, and it was on and on about it. And my sister was just shaking her head like, "Oh boy, do you think you're in Nigeria? This is what you call UK." We're both fresh in London at the time. And my sister explained and broke things down, advised him, advised us, and luckily, we took up my sister's advice, and there was peace, and from there on, he was able to warm his food himself, just to press the button, carry it on the tray and eat, and there was peace. But ironically, that will not work for everybody. And that's just the truth. So if you have tried my method, get people involved, to counselor, father-in-law, whoever you have as a mentor or advisor or counselor, it's also good to have to agree that, listen, in our marriage, if we have issues and we are struggling with solving it, who do we both agree to talk to? That we know when this person gets involved, we will actually listen to them. And then you can go to such a person. And I pray that in any situation we find ourselves, that we'll be able to find resolution, make peace, amendments, and move on. Because that's just an hurdle you just jumped. There are still more hurdles ahead. There are still more hurdles ahead. So let's not fail or fall at the first hurdle. As long as we are living, there will always be hurdles. Human being, we change, we evolve, we grow, we learn new things, and we learn new ideas, and sometimes we want to inculcate that idea, incorporate it to what we've been doing before, and then that brings a change. And then our partner will be like, where is that one coming from? That is new. Strife might come in if it's not managed very well. But then if we can sit down and talk about it, like, this is something new I have learned, I have discovered, and let us try it as a family. While you are trying to develop yourself as a man or as a woman, carry your partner along. But then you cannot force somebody who is not willing to learn. So how beautiful it will have been if everyone is trying to be better, be a better person for yourself, and then for your family. If you all don't want to just be stubbornly like be where we are or we have been, and then we'll have this notion, this idea where we'll say, this is the way I am, oh, I cannot change. This is the way I talk. When I talk, the whole house will shake. You know, I mean, I used to be like that. My voice is very loud, and you can tell. Since I only voice is very loud, I can tell. Now imagine if we not get excited. We now use that as an excuse that that's the way I am. So if you think I'm shouting, just live with it. I don't have to live with your nonsense. But you can work on yourself and be a better person. It takes baby steps until we get there. So in as much as you do not like frozen food as a man, I am begging you, try. Just pretend that or assume or just see it like it is a fresh food. Number one. Number two, also know it at the back of him. I've said this before, I'm saying it again. Most of the food you buy out there in UK are frozen. So please, let's adjust and build our home. There's too many broken homes. In this year alone, the percentage is on the increase. For what? Mommy mentioned the issue of toothpaste a few minutes ago. There's a certain way I like to put my toothpaste. I press it from the bottom. Pata pata. My children press it from anywhere, even though I've been teaching them from the day they are born. Would I, because of that, disown them? No. I keep pressing it from bottom. That becomes my pattern. Let them do their pattern. The same thing with my husband. He presses it from the middle. Because of that, with the word come to an end, let us not get irritated easily, unnecessarily. I keep pressing. You press in the middle, I press it back from the bottom. I push it back up. Perhaps one day, he may join me. But if he doesn't join me for my example, it is not the end of the world. And that will be all for tonight. Thank you very much all for joining. For all the people that gave me gifts and the people that did not give me gifts, that are giving Yawoke alone, thank you very much. I see you. I have noted your name down. God bless you. It's nice to have you all, Brother Festus, Anwuli, and all the people that have left comments that could not join. Probably they are working, and all those that tried to join but they could not connect. I am really sorry about that. Queen B, thank you. Brother Larry, thank you. All JJ Baby, I don't see your handle. Thank you. God bless you. Alumene Kene Adeniji Modupe. Relationship talk show with Modupe. Until in 2 weeks' time, we'll be back. We were supposed to look at 2 topics, but this topic, I think we've trashed it down properly. So in 2 weeks' time, we'll come up with another story that we will be breaking down, evaluating, and hopefully finding a solution to. Until then, stay blessed and keep loving yourself. Night night.